Hello, my name is Dan and I am the Careers Manager at Huddersfield New College. What we're going to talk about today is what is a career. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have already started to think about your career, particularly when you were thinking about the choices you wanted to take in terms of your subjects with us at Huddersfield New College. So today we're going to look through some definitions of career, have a look at a bit more of a progressive definition of career, think about some of the things that you can be doing now and during your time at college, whether you know what you want your career to be or not. And then we'll just finish off by talking about some of the support that will be available to you with your career as a Huddersfield New College student. So we've just got some definitions on the screen of what is a career, some very basic in terms of a series of jobs in a profession, through to a little bit more of a broader definition at the bottom about your development in learning and work throughout life. And in that perspective, your career has already started. Through your education, moving from school into college, you've made some career decisions by choosing to go into college and choose to go into some particular subjects. An even better definition than that is the one on the screen now. So an individual's journey through life, learning and work. It's all encompassing, and it means that it's not just a focus on the work that you do that defines your career. In this definition, everybody has a career, whether you work, whether you don't work, whether you get paid or don't get paid, whether you have lots and lots of qualifications and jobs or just one qualification and one job throughout your life, or none of these things, you have a career. And life and career are very, very difficult to separate. The choices that you make in your life impact on your career, and the choices you make in your career impact on your life. And it spans over time. It starts from your education. Your career has effectively already started, and it goes right through to your retirement and beyond. If we think about retirement, that's when maybe people think their career stops, but actually the choices you make during your career and during your working life have a massive impact on your retirement life. And so your career is very much lifelong. Now, the 21st century in the modern world is very, very complex. The job market is often complex, and we've seen that jobs and the demand for different jobs has changed massively over the last few years. So career planning now and approaches to career often requires a lot of flexibility, a lot of change, and a lot of willingness to be adaptable. And when we think about career, and this is where a lot of you are potentially at the moment, it will either be planned or unplanned. So you're probably at the moment, you're either feeling that you've got an idea of what you want to do for your career, and so you started some planning, or you really don't know what you want to do for your career, and so you're potentially feeling that it is currently unplanned. And we're going to deal with these two different ideas now. So if you're currently in the position where you believe you know what you want to do for your career, then that is great. But what's really important is that you take action towards making this idea a reality. And there's some ideas on the screen of how you could do that. You could engage in wider reading. You could engage in work experience. You could speak to people in that profession. You can research different routes into that career. And crucially, while you're doing this, you'll be learning more and more about that particular career, that particular job role. And you'll be getting a better sense of whether this is something that actually does appeal to you and matches up with your interests and your skills and your values. Engaging in this research is really, really important, and engaging in the activities are really important because it will make sure you know enough about that career to be confident that that is right for you. And it will also make you stand out when it comes to applying for that particular career. If after completing all that activity, you feel like, actually, you know what, this maybe isn't what I thought it was and it's not quite right for me, then the key there is to not panic if you change your mind. Better to find out now than in 10 years' time. Now, I'm sure a lot of you fall into this position where you feel like you don't quite know what you want to do yet. And so maybe when you've come to college, you've picked subjects that you know you enjoy, you know have good opportunities at the end of them, but actually you're not 100% sure what you want them to lead to yet. And that's absolutely fine. It can feel quite unsettling if you feel like all of your friends know exactly what they want to do. And I've spoken to countless students who feel like they're the only one who doesn't know what they want to do. And it's obviously not the case. So the key here is, again, not to panic. Part of the point of college, and it is 2 years and it does fly by, but it does allow you to explore your interests. And so there's some key things that you can do at this stage to start figuring out what might be right for you next. Engage in activities that you enjoy. Look at enrichment opportunities, look at work experience opportunities, seek out those new experiences. Don't feel like you have to be confined to just the subjects that you've taken. Get involved in all those wider opportunities as well. Be open-minded to those opportunities And crucially as well, don't pressure yourself to make a rush decision, and hopefully don't feel pressure from external sources to make that rush decision as well. You've got plenty of time to make up your mind about your career, as long as you're being proactive in terms of finding out about what you enjoy. And once you've done some of the activities on this screen, then flipping back to maybe thinking, oh, I found something I think I might want to do. Now I can engage in some of these activities as well to find out a little bit more about that. And if you find actually, no, that's not quite right for me, then we go back to this stage of exploration. Career is all about exploration, finding different things that you enjoy. And it's also important to remember that actually careers now are very, very fluid and flexible. People used to think of careers as a very, very linear path. The decisions you make now affect your career for the rest of your life, and that's just what you're going to proceed on throughout your career. Career changes happen all the time. People decide that they want to take a new option and make a change within their career, and that can happen at any age. And so the important thing is to consistently be exploring things that you enjoy. Now, there's lots of different theories of career, and that's not something I'm going to get into here. But I just thought I'd raise one that I think is particularly reassuring if you're in a position where you're actually not sure what you want to do. And so this is John Krumboltz's theory of planned happenstance. And what this talks about is that luck can play a really big part in our careers, whether we're planning or not. And with our complex world, the future is very, very hard to predict. So if you're making decisions too early, this can actually be a little bit unhelpful in terms of your future career aspirations. And so in a sense, being indecisive can actually be quite a sensible response to a complex world, particularly if you're in a position right now where you're just coming into college and you might not actually be entering the job market for quite a few years yet. So putting off decisions and keeping your options open is actually a really positive thing, provided that you're still being purposeful about your career. And we'll go into that a little bit more detail now. So planned happenstance is not about doing nothing. And that's the key point about this theory of career. It is not about doing nothing. It's about purposeful planning to keep your options open. And now a lot of the things on the screen now, I will have effectively already covered in some of the activities I've been encouraging you to get involved with. So for planned happenstance, it's all about curiosity to explore learning opportunities. That's getting involved in work experience. That's speaking to people who do different jobs. That's getting involved in some volunteering activities. It's about persistence to deal with obstacles, to deal with pressure, to not be completely demoralized by setbacks. As I say, the world can be quite unpredictable, and often things change. The job markets change. We've just seen the massive impact that COVID-19 has had, and the job market has changed as a result of that. And so it's about having persistence to deal with those setbacks. It's about flexibility to address the circumstances and events that happen, not being afraid to change your mind about your career and not getting overly focused just on one end goal. It's about having an idea of lots of different things that might relate to your interests that you could go into and staying flexible to those until you've firmly decided what might be right for you through experience. And it's about being optimistic to maximize those benefits from unplanned events rather than feeling negative about things that affect your career planning, whether it's a subject that doesn't quite go to plan for you, whether it's a bad exam result, whether it's a shift in the job market. It's about having optimism to then maximize the benefits from that change in your plans. It can be quite difficult to get your head around this as something, a way to plan your career, because you can easily look at this and think, oh, well, I don't need to worry about my career because what will be will be. Everything happens for a reason. But actually, if you just do nothing, then you won't develop any of these skills and these qualities to be able to then take advantage of the flexibility that you have within your career. So just to finish off, I want to talk about the support that will be available to you at college. So throughout your time at college, you will have career support. So through your subject lessons, you will explore your interests in depth, and this will give you ideas for possible careers in those areas. Through your tutorial program, you'll learn more about the options available to you after your time at Huddersfield New College, and you'll be supported in how to apply for them as well. There'll be guest speakers and events throughout the year with the aim of broadening your horizons around different career options that are open to you. And of course, you'll have access to individual personal career guidance with qualified careers advisors to help you really put your plans into action. That's been a very, very quick introduction to what a career is, and hopefully it's given you something to think about as you move from school into college as to things that you can be doing now that will help support your career decision making later on. and I hope that's been very useful for you.